Brady able to throw and hit Evans again. Got the first down, trying to spin for more. Still on his feet. And he gets there. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Buccaneers. Golf gift wrap that to him. First turnover of the night. Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass hit be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens, lean me.
All right, guys, at halftime, the LA Rams are beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 14-7. Live here at Ducky Sports Lounge, 1719 West Kennedy Boulevard. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Field goal attempt, 55 yards there, way off. But once again, penalties kind of killing this team. Offensive pass interference on Gronk kind of nullified it. And then on top of it, it looked like Giovanni Bernard had a big-time play there, but the referees called it advancing the fumble. Go ahead and give us the update on that rule. Why was it called back? Why wasn't that a big play by Giovanni Bernard? Looked like it was a fumble to me, but you can't advance the fumble?
Correct. Only person that can advance that fumble is Tom Brady on the offense.
Okay.
Unless the ball, is going forward, people trying to recover it, but he can't. Somebody else just can't pick it up and run it as if it was like a passing play. It's the strangest rule, but that's the ruling.
Yeah, I mean, again, and the big-time story also, not only the Bucs defense inability, because they put a little bit of pressure on Stafford, but not nearly enough, and he's really carving him up, 15 for 22, 2 touchdowns at this point, and he was getting hot there. Cooper Kupp, always a problem, always a Bucs killer, gets a touchdown, go-ahead touchdown for them. You got to make adjustments in the second half in order to get to him, put pressure on him. If you don't, you're already limited, because the big-time story, Jamel Dean is out of this game with a leg injury. Richard Sherman on line 2.
The Rams are doing exactly what I thought they'd do. Like I said, they're running rub routes. They're making these DBs think. You got a lot of guys out there that's not used to playing, guys playing out of different spots, and they're just taking advantage of it.
Now, Brady, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Brady, 17 for 22, 172 yards, 1 touchdown. No interceptions. I don't think necessarily the Rams have gotten pressure on him besides that play with Giovanni Bernard. And the Bucs were very fortunate that wasn't disaster at that point as they're driving.
Absolutely. Rams could have definitely licked their chops if they'd have recovered that fumble. Luckily, Giovanni Bernard is Johnny on the spot, showing why he's making the best of him playing now. And Ronald Jones is absent. I expect more to come from Gio, as Gio's got 4 receptions for 43 yards. And he's not leading backs and carrying. Ronald Jones is leading with 5 carries on 11 yards, which if the running game is non-existent, what's that? 11 by him, 13. So you're talking about 18 total yards on the ground for running backs. I said you're going to have to run this ball if you want to get this ball down the field vertical, because the Rams are playing too high safety and daring the Bucs to run the ball.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have to be a balanced offense. We continue to go back to it. This Bucs offense is a lot better and a lot more devastating, if you will, when you have that running game. When you don't, then you become one-dimensional. And I get it. You have all these toys on the outside, but at the end of the day, you've got a defense that's licking their chops to get, of course, put pressure on Brady, especially in Aaron Donald, who, once again, to the Bucs' credit, besides, that play there, has been relatively quiet.
Yeah, I didn't like the pass protection they had on that. Yeah, Rob Gronkowski basically singled up on Aaron Donald. And I love Rob Gronkowski, but that's disrespectful to Aaron Donald.
So what are the Rams doing that is causing the Bucs problems? Because you were talking about this Tyler Higbee has gotten off in this game down the middle. It seems like Cooper Kupp has had some opportunities, Robert Woods, but what are they doing to the Bucs besides the fact of Jamel Dean being out of this game and picking on a guy like a D. Delaney? What are the Rams doing to the Bucs that's confusing them in that back end?
I believe I said week 1 after the Cowboys game, I told everybody right here, I said, look to see this offense again, because it's a copycat league, and they're doing exactly that. They're running the bunch formation, twins wide receivers, picking off guys, anticipating Todd Bowles calling the screen, and just taking advantage of the Bucs being aggressive and just throwing it right where they're leaving from.
Now, of course, the Rams, they get a 15-play drive, 95 yards. The defense is not able to get off the field. In fact, 4 third-down conversions. That's the problem. That's been a problem for this defense. The defense has to get off the field. Although on the other side, the Bucs have their own long drive, 15 plays, 76 yards. Very creative in that red zone with Chris Godwin and, of course, Giovanni Bernard. But Chris Godwin, what do you see on that play for the touchdown there? Little jet sweep action?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a jet sweep. They thought Chris Godwin was going to go over the block because they had never really handled the ball before, and they caught the Rams sleeping on that play. Godwin was able to find a running lane and barrel his way into the end zone.
All right, let's go out to the comments here. Of course, we're live here on NSPN Next Gen Sports Media, where sports media evolves. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49, Blake and Blake Sports. So let's get to it. Roger Shue says, go Rams, go Bucs suck, and here's what you get for that. All right, let's go out to Alex Nunster here. Secondary getting straight burnt. Again, though, that comes back to the pressure, but also it's game planning by Matt Stafford and, of course, Sean McVay. Quick passing and also hurry up offense. When you do that, basically you keep that defense on the field. They can't make those substitutions, and that really tires the defense out. But once again, getting rid of the ball quicker, that's what alleviates that pass rush.
Absolutely, and it takes away the blitzes that the Bucs are trying to do. They've been unable to get home a lot on the blitzes this year. So they're going to have to try to kind of counterpunch here, because the Rams have definitely came out and thrown a few haymakers.
Absolutely. Again, 14-7 Rams over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Missed opportunity there with the field goal, but 55 yards for Ryan Succop.
Is what killed that drive.
Yep. Penalty, and then, of course, the play there, which, it's a really stupid rule, because to me it's not a fumble, but, of course, the only player that can advance it is Tom Brady, right?
Correct.
Okay, good to go. A lot of confusion there. So we read that. Misador says defensive scheme need pressure defensively. That's what it comes down to. We saw Bea a couple times, and it looked like Deshaun Jackson had corners.
2 touchdowns.
Right.
2
And we talked about Jackson and his speed. He's always got that speed. And look, if corners are looking in the back and then inexperience without a Jamel Dean, if they're looking and they're not practicing proper technique, they're going to get burned. Very fortunate for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because Vea gets pressure in Stafford's face. That's how you beat Stafford.
If these corners have to make Stafford hold the ball just a second longer, and these guys will get to him and they'll be able to get their hands on him. The problem is, as I said when we were watching this game, the DBs are staring in the backfield, and these receivers have too much speed. If you're flat-footed, by the time they get to you, they're going by you.
Yeah. All right, so let's go out to Roger Shue. Don't cry, Pete. It's okay, bro. No crying here. There's no crying in football. But you are the troll king, that is for sure. Tribal troll right there in the house. Roger Shue from Newport Richie. Misador says, need an answer for Kupp. What's the answer for Kupp?
You got to figure out to stop getting picked off by these pick plays. You got to figure out how to get under these routes or get over these routes and try to put a wound on this bleeding that they're just picking. They're not doing anything crazy. They're just running rub routes, finding guys in space. And the key part is Stafford's delivering dimes.
Yeah, that's it. And again, if you don't have the pressure, and it seems like, again, Stafford has a clean pocket. What's Leo Haggerty, the legend, former coach, scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions, Hit Sports Mag, say? If a quarterback has the time, he can throw it where he wants, when he wants.
Comes down to a long day.
Easy now. So I need an answer for him. Sandro Nagel, only 7 points back, calls. They'll be back with fire. They will win. Watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area on NSPN. I love St. Pete. Always. It's not the Sports Web. It is NSPN Watch Party, but I appreciate that. I don't agree. They got this game without a doubt. Destroy the Rams. Corey says we need Richard Sherman. Stop getting man and break and sign him. Again, there's extenuating circumstances. Right. I think it is the NFL. I think it is Jason Light and BA doing their due diligence to see what the NFL is going to decide on the suspension. And then on top of it, how much money. Look, you freed up the money. Now, if Jamel Dean is hurt for this game, you're down 2 starting corners. You got Carlton Davis and then D. Delaney, who doesn't have that much experience. Ross Cockrell, to be fair, he's been okay, but he got a holding penalty. You can't have that call. But once again, that's what you're down to at this point.
Yep, I don't blame Russ on that play. It's either a holding call or a touchdown.
All right, let's see. Let's go out to Earl Harris, the third. Secondary is bad. Refs suck and too many penalties. I mean, again, that has plagued this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team at key situations. You've got to clean up those penalties. You can't do that versus a good team like the Rams. And the Rams are only going to get better throughout this season as Stafford gets more comfortable with this offense. All right, let's go out to Christopher Colwell. No 30-point game this time. We'll see. Still a second half here. Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan Legend, SC. I'm still surprised how the Bucs are Super Bowl champs. They survive games. They don't dominate games. But again, if you allow a team to hang out and you have the opportunity always to win a game with Tom Brady, and this defense will make the necessary adjustments this coaching staff is famous for, especially a Todd Bowles, to trick. But Matt Stafford, that's the thing. He's seen all these type of coverages before. You definitely got to make some adjustments in this second half.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go out to Christopher Cole here, double standard. Frank Johnson, what's up, guys? Let's go out to Dustin here. Things seem to be piling up against the Bucs this game, which isn't good against a team like the Rams, as they are about to kick off here. And Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Bucs secondary is trash. But once again, I think it's very unfair to say that when you're without SMB and now Jamel Dean. Final thoughts, key adjustment in this second half, and we got to run.
Got to still do something with the running backs in the backfield. Get creative on offense and got to stop the bleeding here with the rub rats on offense for the Rams.
All right, at halftime, Tampa Bay Buccaneers trail the LA Rams 14-7 for the great Blake Anthony. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Enjoy the second half of the game.
Opportunities are available too, such as our group